What's going on, guys, and welcome on in. Just wrapping up a quick expedition here that one of my guildies invited me to. Guys, in this video, I wanted to talk to y'all about expeditions, which just came out today. I spent the entire stream fighting all the bosses, figuring out who's good, what to do, what the best methods are. So let's go through it today. And as always, guys, if you have any additional questions, comments, advice on what you have found to work in these new expeditions, let me know in the comment section below. All right, so let's get to it. I drafted up a quick guide here for y'all. Cars Just Do It T2 Expedition Guide. I'll tell y'all why I named it T2 in just a second. All right, so our goal for this guide is that everyone clears with one entry, meaning try to do 250k. Don't worry, guys, I'm gonna get into why all of these matter in just a second, but let's go through the rules first. The guide is also gonna focus only on easily accessible units or units you already have built for other content. You're gonna find min-maxed guides on how to maximize your damage, how to top the charts. Someone's gonna make some detailed Excel sheet. This isn't what this guide is for. This is just so you can get in already, start early, because you wanna get these done as fast as possible, not only because the rewards are amazing. I'll show you guys how far in I am already. And if people complete all their expeditions, you may be hard pressed to find groups later on in the month, okay? So try to get them done ASAP. Yeah, let's get through the rest of the rules, okay? We just finished, what was that, a ice boss. The rest of my team will finish that up here in just a second. But I want to show y'all something. I mentioned earlier the depot rewards. There's a total of 2,000, and look at these juicy reforged materials that you can get on top of gold transmits and conversion gems. Now, if the total is 2,000, I'm already over a fourth of the way in a single day to capping out. Now, not everyone's gonna go as fast as I am, and of course some people are probably already further than me. But like I said, try and don't slack, don't wait, don't procrastinate until the end of the month or until the end of August even, because this is gonna be a 2-month rotation. Because your friend list, it's limited to your friend list and your guild list, and if they all complete it early, no one's gonna be running these, because unfortunately, after you get the depot rewards, it's not quite worth the energy to run an expedition. You'd rather just do a hunt boss instead. So my advice, unless Smilegate changes something, is to really focus on finishing early. Okay, let's go through the bosses and then we'll talk about the units and what I have found to work. Guys, first thing is you get a reputation reward for clearing T1s. So this is a guide on what to do. Clear all the T1s for a reputation reward of 30 manifestation stones, which is really nice. That's a total of 90. After that, you want to purely spam T2s. Avoid T3 bosses, everyone. The reason being, T3 bosses are very difficult. They have a higher energy cost and they require more than one entry. I wrote up here, you want to try to clear with one entry and you want to do 250k, preferably 300,000, because a T2 boss has, I think it's 1.6 or 1.4 mil, something like that. In which case, if every player does their respective 1/6 amount, no one is getting carried and you'll be safe on everyone's friend list, right? They'll keep inviting you back because you're doing your part in the boss's health. The T3 though, you need multiple entries unless it's the fire boss, which I can get into later. But for the most part, everyone should you'll probably be seeing everyone spam T2s. And unless you want to just try it once just to see for yourself, please avoid T3s. A lot of people after today are just not even going to enter, myself included, because it's not worth the energy. You can even get trapped in there wasting energy. And if no one is strong enough, you don't even get the rewards. I think you get a consolation prize at the end, but it's not worth it. After that, guys, just a quick rule of thumb. I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty. Every boss has an entire paragraph, entire essay worth of details. It looks like an abyss boss stats. So unless you want to read that all on your own, I didn't read almost any of it. I kind of got criticized earlier for doing that, but I can tell y'all I have cleared every boss above 200, 250, 300,000 damage. So enough to get through. Sometimes it'll be a little bit less. I need to optimize a few things, but for the most part, T2s are pretty easy. So let me just tell y'all the rule of thumb so you don't got to read any advanced information or guides, okay? Always put a knight in the front, because either all of the bosses or most of the bosses do extra damage to non-knight classes. They will also do an S1 that only targets the front row, similar to Wyvern. So you want to have a very tanky unit up front, preferably a knight. And then if you can, also provide some additional mitigation, because all the bosses do some AoE damage as well. So Aureus is really strong. On top of that, try not to bring any % scaling units, guys. I mean, there are a few that are still good, like Green Bologna can still be used for her defense break and stuff, but units like Soul, not super great, because you can just use someone else that has more utility, because unfortunately Daydream Joker and HP % scaling skills will not work, all right? Very important. Okay. Let's start with the fire boss, Fierce. I think I'll go through one boss with you guys. It's kind of the one I started with, but we'll go through this ice one in a second. Unfortunately, I don't have one ready for y'all, but we can just talk about it. And hopefully Kujar can add in a clip somewhere of me fighting one of these fire bosses, all right? So this is Brutal Fierce. This is the fire boss, a Chimera. By far, this is the easiest one, guys. So hopefully y'all will do this one very quickly, very easily. The reasons are because his mechanics are transferring debuffs back if he gets more than 3 debuffs. Similar to Azmanek. On top of that, there's so many ice units. We already know that everyone has Wyvern units built up, so most people will be able to do this super easily. I mentioned earlier Knights, so let's start with Knights. Crow, Crozet, Rose, Tywin. And first off, a quick disclaimer, there's gonna be units on here that work and I just can't list because either someone didn't test them or they don't really fit in the units that are usable in other content or easily accessible, okay? So I'm just trying to focus on simple stuff that most people will probably have. And if you guys have additional stuff that works well, let me know, please. Get your Knight. Any Ice Knight works. I believe some people were saying you can use a non-fighter Maya may work. Just keep in mind the boss will do extra damage, so you gotta be extra tanky if you try to go off element. DN works very well. Some of my chat was also telling me Elena on Celestine works. You could also just run, let me add in here, to be honest, you can just run another healer. I'm sure A Momo or Angelica work as well. But if you can get DN for the attack up and then Elena for the extra mitigation, try to stick to one of those two. After that, I am personally using SSB with her skills off because more than 3 debuffs you want to avoid. The biggest thing is though, the boss will do a silence and SSB will still proc her counter on the silence and you'll get a defense break if it lands. After that, you need your DPS unit. Get any combination of these guys. Use your Alexas, your Lunas, whoever, oh I wrote Alexa twice here. Whoever has gear on, right, for your Wyvern runs. Karen. Yuna is also nice for utility and can do some damage. And then Ice Kisei. Almost anything works. I really like Lena because a lot of people have that as a fodder farmer, and CR manipulation versus this boss actually has a very interesting mechanic. This is why I also wrote here, most of y'all should have a Commander Lorena. Although I've kind of feel like lately, Commander Lorena has fallen off because no one really needs her anymore with how many good just units are out. But if you had one already invested, she's actually an all-star here. Absolutely broken. Kujar, this time I need to request a clip. If y'all can roll my highlight from today's match. I want them to see the Commander Lorena popping off, taking like 6 turns. Oh, Lorena's gonna get one more turn to pop off, guys. Defense break. The dream! The dream! And S3. One more in S3. Wait, she's going 5 times? What the hell? Let's go! Easy, dude. It's because the boss has some kind of CR manipulation when he silences you. And so units like Lena, Lorena, and DN will take multiple turns. It's actually insane. That being said, I mentioned earlier, avoid T3s. I could see very soon, if you have a lot of strong people on your friends list and everyone has access to Commander Lorena, it's not that hard to do a T3 run with 1 entry if everyone has Commander Lorena. But for now, let's all just agree to do T2s. It's simpler, less headache, yada yada. Just do T2s. After that, we got the Lich Boss. Booming Snag Lich. This one is much harder than the Fire Boss in my opinion, same with the Ice Boss. But here are the units that I have found to work. Start off with your Knight, Lilius, special SC Roz, and Fire Cecilia. Let me know if there's anything else that works, but almost all y'all should have access to specialty change Roz. I think he's Vagabond Roz. Extremely strong. I'm using him right now. I actually swapped from Lilius to him, and I think he's amazing for this, so build him up. After that, your healer, Acades works really well. I've heard Hazel is probably the best overall, but could be difficult to work. I'm not sure. I can't remember. People are saying maybe she dies too quick, but of course, she's just, when you bring a lot of fire units, she's amazing. Tamarin as your last resort, if you just have her already built, she'll work fine. However, keep in mind, guys, the boss has a restrict mechanic, so Tama loses a lot of her importance here. Meaning, just use one of these others if you have them, or Tama as a last resort. Just keep in mind she'll be less effective. After that, take your DPS. Kairon is nice if you can keep a buff on him, otherwise, he's not quite amazing. I don't know the exact mechanics, but the boss spawns with a crystal, and you're gonna want to use units that hit multiple targets. It just makes life a lot easier. All right, so Kairon, if you can keep a buff on him. Charlotte, if has a buff, also use Justice for All, and she will do AoE. Sermia, I think just because she does so much damage, I have it here. Fire Ken with a defense break, but try to avoid these two and stick with AoE. I wrote at the bottom, an off element Two off element units are Champ Z and Spectre Tenebria. If you have Fire Tenebria, you can also run Fire Mercedes. Try to run some AoE units, okay? So Carrot has a little bit. Cirilla I don't think will work. I'm gonna actually erase some of these from this list here. Apologize for editing with you guys, but yeah, let's erase those. Yeah, stick to AoE. Charon, Champ Z if you have them. Fire Tenebria, Spectre Tenebria. And if you really have to, guys, you can use Charlotte, Sermia, Fire Ken. It just helps if you have AoE. Okay? That's the Earth boss. And then the last boss, let me show you the team. And I'll go over what teams I'm using exactly at the bottom. But let's go ahead and jump in. I'll start one up so you guys can see one example, right? You click your wanted poster. And remember, guys, choose T2, please. Do one T1 eventually, either through your friends list or from yourself so you can get the free Manifestation Stone reward from reputations. After that, please, everyone, do T2s. It's just the best, simplest. So I started it up. You hit this invite button. This is why I want you all to have an active friends list. If you've been by my streams, I've been pushing for you guys to get an active friends list, get in an active guild. If you need either of those, please stop by my channel. And if you don't have time to stop by my Twitch stream, I'll go ahead and put a Discord link below. Stop in there. There's an expedition page set up. Just reach out to me and my community, and we'll get you in the know. I hit select all. I can do, you know what? Let's do friends. So I'm going to send out all those friend invites, and then I'll send out all the guild invites, and then hopefully people hop in. But we're just gonna go ahead and start. This is my team right now, and if you notice, none of this stuff is what I recommend under the Ice Boss. Charles and SC Flurry have been the best knights in the front here. Everyone will probably have Flurry. Some people may not have Charles. You could also run Green Armin, but I think she's subpar because she doesn't do much else outside of being a knight and providing some mitigation. So try to focus on one of these two. And of course, if you find any other knights that work, guys, try them out. But I'm trying to stick to mono green or stuff that just works. After that, green lots and Destina are amazing because you want some kind of CR push versus this boss. Otherwise, I believe you stay stunned. Your DPS will be stunned. I don't have much here besides Tama. We're just going to make do. And honestly, this team for T2 works just fine, which is why I think these kind of guides, the guide I'm pushing out for y'all, don't worry too much. Just get in there, try it out. As long as you're doing 200, 300k damage, you're good to go. And then I'll go over what I want to be running. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump in. I think Alenty and Charles are very good. And eventually, if I can, I'll swap out Tama and Lilibet for better alternatives. But let's see how much damage you do. I actually think this team is not bad at all. All right, while that plays out, take note too, guys, there's a few units I wrote to either keep skills off, SSB, Alexa, and then I did give some recommendations on artifacts. Dust Devil should be very good here for your Charon or for your Sids. Chat was reporting Touch of Reikos, of course, is really nice because a lot of times the boss does AoE damage. And I mentioned earlier, CR pushes are good, so Ruzid is a good option as well. Here's what I'm using for the Fire Boss teams. I told y'all about what I recommend. I'm actually using for Fire, Crow, SSB, Dien, Lina, and then I switched to Lorena for T3. Earth Boss, I use Roz, Akadi, Spectre, Tenebria, and Champ Z. I know you guys may not have these two, but I gave other alternatives above. And then the Water Boss, I'm running Charles, Alencia, Lilibet, Tamarin, but I want to swap to Destina or Green Lots, and then a different DPS with a defense break, either Euphine or Sid. So Charles dies super early. I may actually try to swap him off Elbrus and go for Victorious Flag in the Conquest shop, because that provides both damage and I believe damage reduction when fighting a favorable element. But right now I'm not too worried. I think even with this comp, the Charles lasted long enough, and I believe from here on out we'll reach 200, 300k, hopefully. Let's see what we get to. But other than that, guys, I want to hammer home the fact that this new mode, I really like the social aspect it brings to the game. So make sure you get your friends list, your guilds in order, and don't min-max, don't worry about too much for now, okay? The meta may change soon if everyone decides to do T3s. But for now, the way that Smilegate pushed it out on day one, T2s are the best option, in which case everyone should be able to. If you're mid-game or beyond, if you're super new, guys, you may have to hustle and really rush and finish those, especially change units especially. For the most part, it's not bad at all to get a decent amount of damage. Remember, you just want, with 6 players, you just want to do enough where you're not getting carried, so you keep getting invited back to boss groups. Just do your part, essentially, and don't sweat it too much. Enjoy the free rewards. Well, I say free, but they cost a lot of energy. Enjoy the extra REFORGE materials, especially the manifestation stones. All right, so Lilibet and Alencia on their last legs. We're closing in on 300k. I bet you if I ran Flurry over Charles or just swap him to Victoria's Flag, it would be much better. But yeah, I believe we'll probably reach 300, which is good enough. And if y'all notice, Lilibet above is stunned because she doesn't get a CR push. All right, so we hit the 300k mark. We're good to go. I may leave it as is for now for this, but depending on if RNG goes worse, you may score higher or lower, right? Yep, and my group is in here. They're going ham. Remember, the goal is to finish in one entry. That way you don't waste extra energy, okay? All right, guys, thank you as always for watching. Make sure y'all stop by the Discord and or Twitch stream. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video, all right? Peace out, everyone.